Hi guys, welcome back to Chaz's No Bullshit Reptile Advice. Today's question comes from Daly's Herps. Hey Chaz, as you were towards diversity in species, which of these species would suit me best as a beginner to intermediate level? These are Woma python, golden white-lipped python, yellow anaconda or short-tailed python. I'm looking at something that gets to good size, can be easy to keep and maintain, and look just nice. Okay, so I can categorically tell you, Daly's Herps, that I don't consider maybe just nicking in there, with the exception of the Woma python. The other three are certainly intermediate, and I wouldn't consider them beginner snakes. The reason I believe that the Woma could nick into the beginner, and I wouldn't have a huge issue with somebody keeping a Woma as a beginner, is that it's a dry desert snake, doesn't require extra humidity. They're excellent feeders, they grow quick, they reach a good size at 6 feet and stocky, sort of like the thickness of your forearm for a female. They're gorgeous snakes. There's different bloodlines out there, and you can get some really nice high contrast Womas that are stunning snakes, absolutely stunning. So immediately straight out the gates, you give me 4 species, you want something that's easy to keep, impressive, and isn't going to pose you any challenges, and more than likely will be tame and easy to handle. Woma, done, finished. Okay, I'll go through the others as well, but the list you've given: Woma, white lip, anaconda, short tail python. There's no competition. Not even a fair race, I don't think. So let's work through them then. Woma, Aspidites ramsayi, Australian species, from I believe from the central areas to the western areas of Australia. This is a truly arid species, requires no additional humidity to shed its skin, is an active and avid feeder, excellent feeding response, slightly territorial as a baby, but that will go and invariably become wonderful, tractable, tame, easy to work with snakes that will pose you next to no issues. And yeah, I think that they're fabulous. We're looking at, for a full grown snake, a 6x2x2 Viv. We could heat them with a ceramic day-night thermostat, maybe keep them under a full spectrum light to really make them pop color wise. Yeah, so I think they tick a lot of the boxes. The second species you offered me was Bothrochilus albertesi, which is the northern white-lipped python or golden white-lipped python, and this is a manageable sized snake at around 6 feet in length, reasonably stocky build, very athletic, avid climber. As far as natural beauty goes, to look at it on the face of it, it's actually a relatively basically coloured snake, gold to mucky brown, with black and cream belly, and that would be it. Bright white lips, very black head. That's nice. They're nice, but it's not the patination that sets a white lip apart. It's the iridescence. So these tiny ridges on the scale refract light, split it into its component parts, so we get this oil on water effect across the body of the snake, which is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. The trade-off is, for all of that beauty and how gorgeous the snake is, generally speaking, they are arseholes. They will bite the shit out of you. So yeah, you get the impression. I don't need to lay it on any thicker than that. They're aggressive, they're territorial. You will get the odd tame one, but even then you also get ones that pretend to be tame, and then after a couple of minutes, that's it. Wallop, you're having it. Once established, they grow at a reasonable rate. They do have problems shedding their skin if the humidity isn't correct. They are prone to respiratory infections as babies if they're kept too dry. It seems to irritate their lungs if there isn't enough moisture in the air. So, as far as the 4 that you've given me go, as a difficulty of husbandry and raising from neonate to adult, potentially the golden white lip is the most challenging and would be the smallest neonate to deal with, so that's worth bearing in mind. The third choice was yellow anaconda, so that's Eunectes nataeus. Yeah, nataeus. That is the smaller species of anaconda, with a maximum quoted size for females of around 10 feet, males down to about 6 or 7. The average in captivity for a female is between 7.5 and 8.5 feet. 10 feet is almost unheard of. But this is a considerable snake, a heavily set snake, a oftentimes irascible snake, and coupled in with that, you may get a few tame ones, you may get a few good ones, but not enough to rely on. As far as raising and feeding goes, far easier than greens, will grow quicker than greens, and reach sexual maturity faster than greens. They're definitely the easiest of the anacondas to keep. They don't like high humidity, but they do like to soak. Trade-off: you need a water container, but you need good air circulation. Anacondas will blister if kept too moist, as I have discussed in the past. They don't like mega high temperatures, 30 degrees tops. They're avid feeders. They will take a mixture of prey that you can include fish in their diet as well. I think yellow anacondas are very pretty snakes, slightly bug-eyed. Their eyes are slightly larger and towards the top of the head, given for the fact that they soak in water and they just expose their head to be able to strike out and grab something from the water. So that's kind of the way that they're designed. I like anacondas. I do like anacondas. I'm not sure of the 4 that I would go for the anaconda, though, is the honest answer. Something about them: size, power, uneven nature, not knowing whether they're going to be aggressive, would be enough to make me just question it. There will, by the way, there will be people I know who watch this going, "Man, I've got a yellow anaconda and it's totally tame, I can do anything with it." I know that they're out there. What I say is not, it isn't black and white. There are shades of grey throughout my commentary that I make. There will be white-lipped pythons that you could trust your 4-year-old with. There will be yellow anacondas that you can drape around your kid's neck. I'm not on about all the time. I'm saying, given the amount that I have kept, the judgments that I make are across an average of, for yellow anacondas, let's think, 60 specimens. For womas, 100 to 125 specimens. White-lipped pythons, both golden and southern, which is the black, which is meridionalis now. Maybe 200 specimens split between the two, with blacks maybe only occupying about 25, the golden's about 175. And short tail, assuming that you mean Sumatran short tail, which is Curtis, about 80 specimens. If you want to include the Borneo short tail python, which is Breitensteini, then we are into maybe 300 specimens. That's how I average out the behaviours of these snakes. That's how I work it out. It isn't just, I just pluck it out of the air. This is working. There have been tame examples of every species I've kept, but on the law of averages, what I'm telling you is what I've experienced. So final one, short tail python. They're available in a range of colours if we include the Breitensteini. Brongus are big. They're the reds. That's what I consider to be a blood python. They are big, they are stocky, absolutely intermediate. If we wanted to maybe get air to the easier side, the ones that I've found to be the most even in temperature is the Borneos. Borneo short tail or Borneo blood python, Python Breitensteini. I have found them to be superb snakes, tractable, they grow well, they have good appetites. If handled from an early age, they can become really tame. They can remain tame. So yeah, I find like, even though the Curtis is a smaller species, the black bloods or the Sumatran bloods, they're not quite as even in temper, and they can be a little bit snotty and snappy, whereas the Borneos tend to be a bit more even in temperature. Temperament. Temperature. Stupid bugger. Right, so let's rank them for you. If I was going to go for species at the beginning to intermediate level, something that gets a good size, can be easy to keep, maintain, and just look nice. On the variables that you have given me, I rank your number 4, yellow anaconda. Number 3, golden white-lipped python. Number 2, short-tailed python. Number 1, Woma python. But when I say number 1, Woma python, on the variables you have given me, the criteria that you have set, including easy to keep and maintain, which the others, there are complications there, and are truly intermediate snakes. It's not even a competition. The difference is almost as marked as if you'd have given me corn snake, golden white-lipped python, yellow anaconda, and short-tailed python. That's how much the Woma wins by, that sort of distance. It's dry, it's good size, stunningly beautiful, sheds without issue, sheds without humidity problems, feeds like a train, grows rapidly. If handled, will be totally even in temperament and easy to keep and look after. Done. The other species, if you want a challenge, the short tail is big and fat, relatively sedentary, doesn't need a huge temperature. Some people keep them at even temperature ranges, don't even offer them a gradient. For me, I would still give them a gradient, but because they're so sedentary in nature. But does that then look nice, big, fat, heavy set snake? Maybe the morphs would look better. If you're looking for something with impact, with gravitas, that absolutely gets people and makes them go, holy shit, that's pretty, white-lipped python every day of the week. And it isn't the pattern, it's the iridescence of the scales, and that oil on water effect of a freshly shed white-lipped python makes them go from like a 3 up to a 9 in the beauty stakes. They are phenomenal animals, but you will get bit repeatedly, so bear that in mind. I hope that was of help. Thanks for the question, Daly's Herps. Keep asking questions. It doesn't matter what it is. I've got a little guy who comes in the shop who's asking me about crested geckos. Don't lose faith, brother. I will sort out a little crested gecko video for you. But understand that we've done a crested gecko guide video, so most of your information is going to be on there. What people are generally asking me is either rankings or ratings or what I think about a theory. Somebody's proposed something on a forum that's thrown them off. What do I think? So how often does my gecko shed? How many times will it drop its tail? They're hard for me to answer in this sort of realm, but I will make an exception for you because you've shown willing. I've asked you to join our channel and you've asked your question, so I will answer it. Just bear with me. Alright, we'll see you all soon for another episode of Chaz's No Bullshit Reptile Advice. Cheers.